The Deadliest Catch has had a reputation for living up to the deadliest in its title. While few people have died on the show, there have been too many close calls to count. Looper has ranked in the top 5 of the deadliest encounters on the show, so let us check it out. Fire aboard the Wizard. Devastating boat fires can occur, particularly in the Bering Sea. In Season 19, while Captain Keith Colburn was enjoying a huge catch, he faced an unfortunate situation. He raced to the engine room, where poisonous fumes were coming from a split in the brake line after hearing the sounds of a fire. A deckhand had to use a protective breathing apparatus to patch the split while Colburn coughed and gagged. Thankfully, the fire was put out, and the crew succeeded in landing their record catch in port. A Deadliest Catch captain has seen fire on an ocean journey before. Sig Hansen, Northwestern, and the Wizard have all had fires on their journeys, but nobody has ever been harmed. Repairs amidst a storm on the Saga. A malfunctioning ship's crane put Jake Anderson of the Saga at risk in Season 19, sending a piece of metal through his wheelhouse window. The severity of the storm and the navigation and steering systems in the wheelhouse required that a replacement window be placed very far away. In the midst of the storm, the crew welded a new window while the cameras on Discovery looked on. A similar thing happened to Keith Colburn when a crab cage sprang loose and broke his cabin glass. Thankfully, he and the crew were able to use wood to mend the glass and carry on with their day. The Saga floods, natural calamities, and seagull attacks are just two of the many maritime misfortunes that the Saga has experienced. The highlight of the episode, though, is when Jake Anderson's ship's engine room flooded and he had to replace a busted pipe during a power outage. Shan, a greenhorn, alerted Anderson to the bilge's water intrusion in Season 18. She found that the engine room was flooded due to a burst pipe that was used to circulate water to the crab tanks. Using a wrench, Anderson released the rusty joint, and Mac assumed control. Jake received help from Mason and Shan to dry out the engine room. Jake was able to replace the pipe and its coupling, but in the process, the electricity was cut off. Witnessing the terrifying incident from a distance is nonetheless an intense and heart-stopping experience. People overboard the Northwestern. In Season 24, Sig Hansen, a series regular, witnessed the terrifying event of one of his crewmen going overboard, and he unintentionally took one of the show's cameramen with him. Deckhand Clark starts the incident by scaling the stack of crabbing pots in order to break the chain binding them together. Unexpectedly, the rope gives way, sending him and a cameraman plunging into the ocean. After being saved by slings, the two men were taken below deck to get warm. Whichever way you cut it, the heart-pounding moment is shocking nonetheless. One ship, multiple sinkings. Following the incident, an emotional and tearful Sig remarked, "Deadliest Catch has detailed the terrible shipwright sinkings, including the bereavement of friends and marine mishaps." The loss of his friend's boat in Season 15 had a profound impact on Sig Hansen, a close friend of the destination skipper. Several captains were likewise affected by the 2019 VF Scandies Rose loss, and several of them responded on video. There is a huge risk of death and serious injury, and the terror of unexpected loss is worse than the actual loss. These sinkings draw attention to the dangers these men and women faced, which makes it fascinating to track their setbacks and victories. For individuals who have lived through similar catastrophes, the show is particularly riveting because it emphasizes how crucial it is to comprehend the risks involved in both life and death for these men and women.